Hey guys, it's your girl Tyra Crush back with another review, and this time it is for Queen Sugar Bay. I really like this show. I don't know how to behave. Okay, I don't get paid for my singing, but if you would hit my subscribe button, and I'm just gonna get right into it. Okay, so this is season 2 that I am reviewing, and I will say that this show is a lot slower than the shows that I'm used to watching, but it is written so well I've hardly had to scream at my television. The writing is not repetitive. Some of the actions of the characters can be a little repetitive, but the writing itself is not repetitive, so it doesn't stress me out. So that I love about the show. It has a pretty good basis, but it moves a little slow for me. Just a little slow for me. Okay, so I'm just going to break down each character, what happened with them this season, and see if that does me not feel I've said everything that I want to say. Okay, so I want to start with Vi and Hollywood, and we know they left off, broke up. He went on to the rig, and 6 months out at a time because he just felt like he was going to leave her alone because he saw her hoochie mama dancing up on somebody. He ain't like that, because they was having their little difficulties, and he just didn't like seeing his woman like that. So he was just like, okay, I'm gonna let her do her, and I'm gonna go do me. They didn't last long because they love each other. So their reunion was everything because she had gotten word that something happened on the rig that he was on, that it blew up. So she didn't know if he blew up or not because his phone was going straight to voicemail. But when he got off of that bus, baby, the look on his face and hers and them running to each other, I loved every moment of it. Every single moment of it. I was like, yes, you better get your man, girl. Hollywood is goals. That's what you want. Everybody wants their husband to be like Hollywood. Only have eyes for his wife, and do everything that he can to keep a smile on her face. That is goals. That's all we want, man. Be faithful. Keep us happy. We're gonna do everything to keep you happy too. That's how it works. So I love their little dynamic. Their relationship is very, very beautiful. I'm kind of sad that Vi has lupus, but I'm glad that it's not anything that could really take her out quick, like cancer or something like that. So it could be worse, but I think at first I thought she had cancer and she was getting treatment and didn't tell nobody. That's what I thought was going on, but it was a relief to find that it was lupus. Lupus ain't nothing to play with, don't get me wrong, but it is very manageable if you take your meds. It's autoimmune, so a lot of times autoimmune isn't deadly, but again, each case is different. I have an autoimmune disease of Crohn's disease, and it flare ups come and go. I'm not on, my medicine anymore because it pretty much made me susceptible to dying of coronavirus, if I called it. So had to make a decision. So I'm just pretty much living with Crohn's right now, flare ups and all, but it is what it is. So lupus is similar in that it's your own body attacking itself, but she can definitely manage that with meds, and that's good to know because I think she's good for the storyline. um I just love Hollywood. I love his loyalty. I love his integrity, the fact that he was able to get a job that was full time but turned it down because it was the Landrys were funding it and he'd be working for them, and he knows the history of the borderlands with the Landrys and the bourgeois. So he was like, nah, I can't do it, don't worry about it. I can't do it. And that's just like, man, why can't more guys be like Hollywood, man? Why why I just think their little relationship is cute. I think it's cute how I think I like the way Vi tried to get the kids to come together. She told, Ralph Angel realized that it was his land last season but hadn't said anything. He told her, and she told him, don't say nothing, which was the right thing to do because he wasn't able to really run the farm by himself. But him being him, he's got this, I don't know what type of mentality to call it, but it's like he stayed feeling sorry for himself. And he feel like because he feels sorry for himself that everybody else feels sorry for himself. He feel like because he don't think he's very smart, everybody else feels like he's not very smart. And he projects that a lot. He makes mountains out of molehills when it shouldn't be. For instance, when he was in Remy's class and Remy corrected him, but said that you're right, but we're trying to get to why we do these things so that, we can effectively run our businesses. And he took that all the way wrong. It's like, you just try to make me look bad. No, no, you just need to listen. You don't know everything, Ralph Angel. You don't. You don't, clearly, because we found that out with Darla now, didn't we? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Okay. Okay, so we'll go to Nova. Nova had a very eventful season, I think. I like, I really did like Robert for her. I really, really did, but I think that she's just the type that's not gonna, she's too in love with being in control of everything. She's too in love with having her own way. And if she can't predict it, if she can't dictate it or calculate it, she's not interested. It's too confusing for her. So she's going to look for an out every time. So she's got the self sabotage really, really bad. So she definitely let him go, and I don't feel like she should have. I feel like they was good together, and I feel like what he was trying to do was put her on a bigger platform so that she could reach more people. And I don't see what's wrong with that. Sometimes your purpose is bigger than what you can see. What God has for you is bigger, and if you've got that voice, why not expand it? The only reason she didn't expand it is because it was him asking her to expand it, and that wasn't in her original plan, and she felt like he was trying to take control over her. And then she runs into the cop that she used to date, which was cute because she was scared that she was going to fall back into her old ways of sleeping with him again. And he came over. They had a talk. He basically let her know that he wasn't able to be himself until he was with her. And, that's freedom for him. Being with her is him being free. And she said, well, me being with you is prison. And I thought that was kind of harsh, but I felt her on that because she's in Louisiana, and Louisiana is definitely Old South. And, raising, just being with I mean, her being in criminal justice reform, that kind of being her passion, helping, people who get arrested in Louisiana for small crimes but can't afford to pay bail. Those are kind of her passions. So it's kind of hard for her to, really tell the street she's for them, but then come home and sleep with a cop. I totally get it. Um, I don't know if it's because he's white. I think it's just the fact that he's a cop and that she felt like she couldn't totally be herself because he is one of those people that wants to tell her how she should feel. Can't do that. If it's a situation where you're in an interracial relationship and you're not the person of color that is upset, you just need to be quiet and listen. I say this a million times and I'll keep saying it. Y'all need to listen. Everything is not a personal attack, but sometimes as black people we have to vent, and should fully be able to do that when we're in the comfort of our home. And if I'm with someone that when I vent they're going to take it personal, then I'm not with the right person. Period. No way around it. Period. Period. That's it. Okay, so moving right along. Oh, and let me tell you, I did not appreciate her hugging Remy like that. Y'all know the hug I'm talking about. They sat there at that sink. They was talking Kiki and ooh, and you can cook it. Ooh, and yeah, I tried my best. And then gonna hug each other. Girl, that is your sister's boo. Why would you even do that? That was just trifling to me. I'm sorry, because it was something to it, and you can't help who you attracted to. But that boy is too confused to be fooling with anybody. I'll get to him in a minute. So Micah is kind of having his, I guess I'm a black man moment because he's definitely looking at the world differently since he got arrested driving the car his father got him. And come to find out, the police officer really did harass him, put a gun in his mouth, pulled the trigger, and basically told him that he didn't like the fact that he had money and talked like he had a silver spoon in his mouth. And so he got to see a different side of being black, and it kind of traumatized him. And then he just started noticing stuff, people getting arrested, young boys getting arrested. And he noticed that in his school, the prep school, the private school, they have this big display of a Confederate general and his sword, talking about he did everything he could to protect the South. Protect the South from what? Itself? The enslaved were never a threat to you guys. I mean, even the enslaved, if they fought in the war, they couldn't have a gun. How you gonna fight in a war against people and you can't even load a shotgun and fire it, but you on the front line with a bayonet? Like, no, this is not right. So no, the South was, save the South from itself is all it could have been, and he protested it, and they suspended him for 30 days. I sincerely hope he decides that he doesn't want to go to this school anymore, and that he'd rather go to the public school where his girlfriend Kiki go. Because Kiki is everything. She said, "I'm not having sex with you. I'm not having sex until I'm in love. I don't know what you used to, but that ain't me." I said, "You go, Kiki. You go, Kiki. You be the little girl that I wish I could have been, because I sure gave it up." I was just playing a little bit. Okay, so let's move along with Charlie and Remy. This little relationship had me up, down, up, down, up. And I said, they ain't even had sex yet. She going through all of these problems with this dude. She don't even know if he might be a shrimp pimp. He's too much. He's too in and out, too up and down. He's way more up and down than Nova was with Robert. And I don't like that. And I don't like that he walked away from her. You don't know her to be able to predict what she's going to do. And if she's got an idea and a plan and you think you want to be with her, why are you so closed off to it? You should at least listen to it. But he didn't want to. He left. He walked away. And I think it might be because he think Nova fine. I don't know what his problem is, but he is no longer the catch that I want to see her with. I hope somebody else comes along and charms the heck out of her and they stay together, and Remy just stays by himself, longing for his old wife, because it's pitiful and it's trifling. The Landrys are getting on my nerves. I don't know what this power move is that she's trying to pull, and teaming up with the Landry. But if I had to predict, I would say she plans to go on payroll, have it look like they own it, so that she can basically report them for basically stopping black business, stopping her from prospering, lying on her to get everybody, so forcing her out of business like they do everybody else. So if she does that and does a discrimination suit against them or something like that, then that would be hitting them big and that would make them come tumbling down. But I can't tell that she's really still with her plan by the way she spoke with him, because she spoke very convincingly. And maybe that was part of her plan. Like Remy says, she is calculated. She's very intelligent. She does not move before she thinks about it at all. She just miscalculated her father's life. And the hurt that she had, knowing that her father gave up, was trying to give her portion of the farm and Nova's portion to Ralph Angel. And then Ralph Angel just got on my nerves this whole season. My goodness, this boy here. Woo. Woman, I got it. I got it. I'll do what I gotta do. I do what I gotta do. It's okay. I won't ask Charlie no more. I was gonna do what I got. Can you ask Charlie to call me? I just got bills around here and I don't know how I was gonna pay them. Like, dude, why does he have to be like this? He makes it so hard on me. And it's like he accuses Charlie and Nova and everybody of keeping him in a child's place, or in a place of being irresponsible. Won't see that he's grown, but then Darla come out, tell him the truth. He go off, get drunk, and understandably so, if he thinking that his son may not be his. And she never said that he wasn't. She said she doesn't know. He might not be. And that changed to, he ain't mine. He ain't mine. She said he ain't mine. He ain't mine, y'all. He ain't mine. So, we don't know whose blues is. We just know something very terrible happened to her when she went back to DC. So he want to do all of that talking to them about how they treat him, and then what he do when he realized that she lost her job, he gets scared. He didn't go to the safe places. He went one safe place, realized she wasn't there, and then went to all the crack houses. Will not let her stop being a freaking addict. And I was so happy she wasn't in none of those houses and she was just swimming, trying to get time to herself, but he didn't know what they looked like. And he don't like, one minute he know he's impulsive and he got a bad temper. The next minute, I don't know about that. I don't know what I was gonna do. Don't y'all be mad at me, but his character's a little overdone, I think. I would like to see him mature from out of this woe is me state into a more productive young man, that I feel like he could be, but he leans too much on his handicaps and on, guilt tripping everybody else to actually progress for himself. But we'll see what happens in season 3. It's going to be a little while before I get back to it. I'll tell you now. And I am going to go and watch season 3 of If Loving You Is Wrong. So I got a couple other shows to do a season of before I come back to this one, but I do absolutely appreciate you all watching. If there's anything you'd like for me to start reviewing, leave it in the comments and I will be more than happy to try it. That is my $5.02. Peace.